everybody, Jax here. I've been wanting to make this video on how to love yourself, and I think I'm in a really good spot to do it. So I think I'm gonna do it now. I've been asking these questions to people, a few questions. The first one is, do you love yourself? And I get a mixed reaction. I get three things. I've been asking this for quite a while. First one is absolutely I love myself, because how could I love another person if I don't love myself? That's who I am. I've been that way for a while, but when I was younger, I was very insecure. I had a hole in my soul, and I didn't know how to live without another person. You might be that person. I'm trying to help you out here, possibly. The second one is, no, I don't love myself. There's a lot of people that don't love themselves. And I love asking the question, because they'll look at themselves and they'll look down, and there's a lot of pain, There's a lot of pain. If you're feeling that pain, you don't love yourself, this is a good video for you. The third one was really cool. I met this girl recently at a party. She had a boyfriend, but that doesn't matter. She was like, that's quite an invasive question, Jax. And I said, it is. And she said, why do you ask people that question? And I said, well, because as a YouTube content creator, I kind of want to go around and make a difference, and I kind of want people to love themselves more. Now, I see a lot. I have 9 playlists. I get around and do a lot of things, and I'm going global. That's going to open my perspective even more. But the thing about that is, you can love yourself. Like, the thing is about that is a lot of social media right now is projecting people in the wrong way. There's a lot of shots on social media that shouldn't be on there. There's a lot of fake accounts. Everybody's running and scrambling to be with someone, and a lot of times they're with them to argue. I don't get it. If you're going to be with someone, be loving. So that's my thing. My personal story is I just returned from a trip, and my 7-year relationship completely blew up. It wasn't my fault at all. There were some things that happened that I did not approve of, that were not good for the relationship. That's what I'll say. She made some major mistakes that broke trust, and I actually moved everything into someone else's name. That's okay. I wish her the best. She did ask to come back. I said no. And why is that? Self-love. Was I hurting? Was I mean? Does self-love mean that I'm egotistical? It can, but I'm not. If you're humble and you love yourself, then buckle up. If you're going through a breakup right now and you're like, I can't live without that person, you know what? Screw that person. Move on. That person is no longer part of your team. No longer backing you up. Doesn't have your back. Right? This person didn't have my back anymore. It was 6 years. I mean, it was wonderful. The last year, man, did things get dicey. So the breach of trust stopped. I grabbed my soul, re-put myself together. It wasn't easy, but you got to keep moving. You have to love yourself. You have to have self-love and respect for yourself. And did I run off and run and get someone? No. And to be quite honest, the dating pool in America is terrible. It really is. My friends are just complaining, and they're telling me how terrible it is to date now. And my friends that are female are telling me the same thing, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the last 2 years. As a personal change in my life, I'm moving to the Philippines, and there's a number of reasons. It's actually going back to the 1970s. Everyone's nice. My very special friend there, she said that, I said, when we travel together, you're gonna have to watch out for roofies. People might put things in your drink. They might try to steal you. And she was shocked. She was like, they don't do that here. And they really don't. The Philippines don't have legalized marijuana. When you start legalizing things, you inherit new problems. And they don't have that there. Do they have those kind of things in Philippines? Yes, they have libations. Do they behave? Yes. It's not crazy like it is in America now. So I was raised in California, and now I have other places in the world to live, and I'm fortunate. I have wonderful friends, and I really trust and love those people. So back to the third person. So you either love yourself or you don't love yourself, and you're learning, okay? Let me give you a quick question. I went up to a religious group that was actually canvassing at the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles. There were 2 women and 1 guy. I asked the lady if she knew some certain verses. I'm spiritual, but I'm very versed in the Bible. I asked her if she knew about the Galatians 5:22, which is the fruit of the Spirit is peace, patience, kindness, forgiveness, gentleness. Just a beautiful way to live. And so we bonded, and I asked her if she loved herself, and she looked at me and she looked down and almost melted. It was crazy. She didn't love herself. And I was like, how is this woman who has such a deep core relationship with her God? I won't mention the religion, doesn't matter. There's over 2,500 religions, and then they all think they're right. But at least we believe in a higher God, right? A higher creator. We're here for some reason. We were created by nothing, but we're all something. So that was interesting. And then her husband said, well, she's been trying. This is an older lady. The second lady checked out mentally. She didn't want to deal with me. And I was being nice. Like, this is a very tough question. The third one, like I told you, said that's an invasive question. They might get defensive, but then they do turn around and we open the discussion of self-love. So what does this mean to you? If you just lost someone, even if it was a death, it was your mourning, you go through a divorce or a breakup, which is kind of like a death, it really is. If you're going through that, go back to center. Okay, when I used to go to church, one of the pastors said, I'll never forget this. He said, if you're making a decision and you think it's wrong, what does it feel like right here? So I'm like, oh, I'm stealing a candy bar from the store. That doesn't feel good right here, right? Oh, I'm cheating on the other person. It doesn't really fit right there. It's not a good fit for your soul. So how do I do it? Like I said, this breakup was tough. I was proud of how I handled it. I did not melt down. I did not think for once we'd get back together because it wasn't repairable. The trust was majorly broken. So I would walk out in the morning and stand in the sun and get sun. Like, at least get 3 to 5 minutes of sun. That starts your day. Your soul loves the sun. If you don't do something positive. And then I started going to concerts, just doing what I normally do, right? I started to try to date on the dating pool, but what a mess. An absolute mess on the dating pool. I had nice pictures. I was a nice guy. But they're all on like these, and you guys might know, they're on these slot machine things where they're like sitting there and their bed's not made and their hair's not done. And there's just all these men coming in and buying them rainbows and bears. And it's insane. That's where they're all at. And then once in a while I'll get an email or a text that says, Susie's driving by the area and she wants to have a date. I don't even know who she is. What kind of business is Susie running, right? So the thing is, love yourself. Really watch some YouTube videos, how to love yourself. It's a very important thing. And I thought yesterday as I was driving home from an amazing concert, I'm alone. And part of the thing is you're alone. You're not really an important person anymore because you don't have someone. Like when I went out with this person, she was very beautiful. And it made me feel handsome. It made me feel good. It made me feel proud. Then all of a sudden she's gone, right? Because she makes a mistake. And you wouldn't believe the amount of men that told me to take her back. No, you should take her back. Take her back? What is going on? Why would I take somebody back that made major violations that could have affected my health, my finance, my security at my house? I had people in my house that shouldn't have been in my house. That really was bad. So don't take that person back. If you do, sure, you can forgive them. But I have another friend that personally had his ex-wife cheat on him 9 times. And when I brought that up, this person agreed that once a woman cheats, she always cheats. So it is what it is. Learn self-love. Watch videos on how to do self-love. I still pray. I'm a spiritual guy. I still pray to the heavens of God. I pray to find the right path, to find a good person, and to just be to live higher. I was recently stayed in Hana, Hawaii, which is the road to heaven. And I have amazing friends there. Those people are happy. They got issues, but you can tell that they're just inherently happy with their souls. They don't have everything driving them. They don't have to buy things to be happy. They're not in debt. Those people taught me a lot. I already knew, but I really admire those people there. And shout out to you guys. So the other thing is watch my video on free will. I think that every high school student that graduates from high school should have to do certain things, and one of them is understanding free will. We're all given free will. You're marching along, and I'll be honest with you, I've been spoiled most of my life. And I thought that I could do anything. I thought everything was mine because I was pretty selfish, and I made mistakes. But I did abuse my free will, and it didn't work out. And if you did, it's not good. Now the people I'm meeting that I really admire, I asked them, "Have you abused their free will?" And they just stare at me. They're like, "No, why?" And it's true, they never did. They never abused their free will. That's an indicator right there. So stay out of trouble is my point. Don't mess with your free will. And the video I shot at Poipu Golf Course, if I'm saying that, Poipu, on Kauai, watch that video. It's really cool. It's one of my first videos ever, and I still like it. It's in a beautiful place I shot it. Also talks about getting rid of people you don't like. If you have to go to a Christmas party and there's somebody who violated you years ago or was mean to you or whatever, abusive, you don't have to expose yourself to that person. You don't have, just because they're family, set it aside, live higher, take your life to a different tangent. So I hope you guys understand that self-love is very important. I would ask the person you're getting involved with, hey, do you love yourself? And if they twitch, it's not good. I did ask the person 6 months ago that I was involved with, did she love herself? And she said no. And her parents said no, they didn't love themselves. They all stared at me like I was out there. And that was an indicator. No judgment towards them, but they don't understand self-love, so which pushes you to codependence. Codependence is a nasty thing, especially with that partner that you put everything into leaves you, right? So if you're in a position right now and you're watching this, you're like, oh my God, Jax, I'm brokenhearted. I don't know what to do. He or she, they, them, that was the most amazing person in my life. Move on. Seriously. Love yourself first, and then retangent. Pray to the heavens of God that you stay on the right track and that someone amazing will come to you. Now, I recently met somebody pretty amazing. And I have to say that person was a gift from God. The spirit, the creator above. And I waited patiently. I'm still waiting patiently and letting the wrinkles in the fabric work themselves out. And it's a really good, healthy path I'm on. And I wasn't in a codependent relationship before, but years ago I was. I thought that's how you do it. I thought you have to be submissive and codependent. Not if you're building a team, not if you're building a foundation of strength and a beautiful life. It's very tough to make it now in life, especially in America. And you have to have a partner. You really should have one for financial support, mental support, things like that. I have quite a few people that call me now that are having relationship issues. I'm proud of the fact they call me. They can call me anytime. I walk them through it. But sometimes they just need a vent, but they're used to the abuse. It's like a way of life. It's not for Jax. It's not for me. I'm moving forward. I'm going to be sharing some amazing things for you. And if you don't know, the whole quest, my whole mission statement is I've been put in a position to show you guys some beautiful stuff. It's crazy, the stuff I see. But I take a lot of pride in sharing it.